Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here. Okay, so Major League Baseball has officially entered a lockout today. It actually was last night at 11:59 p.m. So let's go over everything. We're going to look at a statement from both sides, and then we're going to talk about what a lockout is and what it entails going forward. So first thing, let's look right here. We have a little letter from Commissioner Manfred to our fans. So this was sent out yesterday. It says, "To our fans, I first want to thank you for your continued support of the great game of baseball. This past season, we were reminded of how the national pastime can bring us together and restore our hope despite the difficult challenges of the global pandemic. As we began to emerge from one of the darkest periods in our history, our ballparks were filled with fans, the games were filled with excitement, and millions of families felt the joy of watching baseball together. That is why I'm so disappointed about the situation in which our game finds itself today. Despite the league's best efforts to make a deal with the Players Association, we were unable to extend our 26-year-long history of labor peace and come to an agreement with the MLBPA before the current CBA expired. Therefore, we have been forced to commence a lockout of Major League players effective 12:01 Eastern Standard Time on December 2nd. Then we get a statement from the Players Union. Major League Baseball has announced a lockout of players, shutting down our industry. This shutdown is a dramatic measure regardless of the timing. It is not required by law or for any other reason. It was the owner's choice, plain and simple, specifically calculated to pressure players into relinquishing rights and benefits and abandoning good faith bargaining proposals that will benefit not just players, but the game and industry as a whole. These tactics are not new. We have been here before, and players have risen to the occasion time and again. Guided by a solidarity that has been forged over generations, we will do so again here. We remain determined to return to the field under the terms of a negotiated collective bargaining agreement that is fair to all parties and provides fans with the best version of the game we all love." Okay, so they always do that. They each send out a little thing to the fans, letting them know that the other side's a bunch of you-know-whats. I'll say this real quick. Every big league spring training, the Players Association, someone from the Players Association would come and talk to the players. And when I first had this meeting, and I knew nothing. At the time, I didn't know what the Players Union did. I had no idea. I just played baseball. But I remember sitting in that meeting and being like, man, like, this guy really hates the owners. Like, they do. Like, it just felt really awkward. Like, it felt like we were getting like a pump-up speech, how we're always going to stick together and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I mean, I just started playing baseball. I don't even know what Major League Baseball is. So I just thought it was funny thinking back to that. So let's go over a couple of points here. I want to hit on kind of what a lockout is and all that stuff. So the first thing is, what is a collective bargaining agreement? So essentially all it is, it's a negotiated contract that kind of governs the working relationship between the players and the players union and the owners. And so now that has expired, so we need to work on a new collective bargaining agreement, which the owners and the players obviously have not been able to do. That's why the players are now locked out. This is baseball's first work stoppage since 1994, 1995, when the players went on strike. So it's been a really long time. It's not like this happens all the time. So what is a lockout? So basically there's two types of labor stoppages. There's a strike, and in a strike, that's when the players essentially say, we're not coming to work, we're not doing it. And then there's a lockout where the owner's essentially saying, you're not coming to work, okay? We're not letting you come to work. So a strike is basically a refusal to work, and then a lockout is a refusal to permit work. Okay, so now that we're in a lockout, what does that mean? So there's a couple of things that can happen. First thing, free agency is frozen. So we don't have free agency. And it was super fun over the last week or so with all this free agency going on. No trades. So you can't trade anyone. Like yesterday, I didn't follow all this, but Jackie Bradley Jr. was traded for Hunter Renfroe. So trades aren't going to be happening. What else? Oh, players can't use team facilities anymore, okay? So you got to go home. Bye-bye. And we also have the winter meetings and Rule 5 draft coming up. So those would be canceled or postponed if this lockout continues. And then if the lockout keeps going in January, then arbitration stuff all of a sudden can't happen. Let's see. Spring training, if it goes far enough, spring training might be canceled or pushed back. And then if it keeps going, then the season might be canceled or pushed back. Okay, so I wouldn't assume that that's going to happen. But technically, if the lockout never ends, then no baseball stuff ever happens. Okay, so again, why are we locked out? Because a new CBA or a collective bargaining agreement hasn't been worked out. There isn't a new one. And when the owners and the players can't come together with one, the owners aren't going to allow baseball to just keep going on without it. So the owner said, sorry, we're just going to stop until we have one figured out. And so it's not just to push the players. It's not just to be like, hey, let's hurry up and get this done. It's also saying, if you don't agree, right, it's putting pressure on them saying, if you don't agree to what we want, then there's not going to be any baseball. Okay, so let's talk about real quick what some of the things that they're fighting over. I made a couple of notes here. So this is from a player standpoint, from the players and the players union. So they want to address a shrinking share of league revenue. And apparently average player salaries have been declining. And obviously the players union players don't want that. And so that's part of the issue with the new collective bargaining agreement. They're also fighting for service time manipulation. So essentially when a team doesn't call a player up because they don't want them to become arbitration eligible for an extra year. And so they are fighting on kind of fixing that little, I don't know if you want to call it a loophole, but basically what teams are doing to players to prevent them from becoming arbitration eligible earlier. So some other things, so the league is getting younger and younger. Players are younger now than ever before in the league's history. And so the union is fighting to try to get these young players paid more. And it is really crazy if you think about baseball, right? When you get drafted, the team has the rights to you for 4 or 5 years, depending on if you're a high school player or a college player. So they have the rights to you for a long time. And then let's say you play 5 years in the minor leagues, right? And then somehow you get called up. Well, then the first 3 years, you're going to get paid league minimum, essentially. So now you've gone almost 8 years without really getting paid very much. And then you have to go through arbitration. And then finally you become a free agent, right? And so the union is trying to get younger players paid earlier, just paid more. And so as far as the owners go, I mean, I guess it's just basically trying to maintain what the last collective bargaining agreement was, and they don't want to give in to the players. And ultimately with all this stuff, it just comes down to the players and the players union want more money, and the owners want more money. So the players don't want to give the owners money. They want more for themselves. And the owners don't want to give players money. They want more for themselves. So ultimately, I guess that's when it comes to most businesses, I guess that's how it works. So that's kind of a real quick rundown of what's going on with this lockout. Hopefully they figured things out quickly. I don't know though. It seems like baseball, there's always like these issues and it always drags out for longer than it should. And I don't know. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think this will be quick? Do you think that we're going to be sitting here for a while? Is it going to affect spring training in the regular season? I hope not. That would be horrendous. I don't think we'll get that far, but you never know when it comes to this stuff. So let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn more about building the elite swing, check out our new course. We have over 2 hours of content, almost 30 hitting drills. We break down the exact mechanics that you're going to want to implement into your swing. I've put the link in the description if you want to go check it out.